Good morning students. So today we'll be dealing how the process of nutrition takes place in complex multicellular organisms. The complex multicellular organisms, they consist of millions and billions of cells, and they form a system which helps in the digestion, and this system is called as the digestive system. And this digestive system, it consists of many organs or parts. The main are the mouth, tongue, esophagus, stomach, intestine, and the anus. So now, the first and the foremost step involved in the process of nutrition is the ingestion of food. Now, what is ingestion of food? The process of keeping up of the food in the mouth is called as ingestion. Actually, we have already studied that in simple unicellular organisms like amoeba, there is no specific organ for putting food like mouth. But in complex multicellular organisms, we have a special organ for the putting of food, or for taking in food, and this organ is called as mouth. The second process is the digestion. Our mouth, it consists of teeth, tongue, saliva, right? Tongue and mucus. So what happens? Our teeth, as soon as the food is put into the mouth, our teeth, they chew the food, they grind the food and convert it into smaller particles. Now once this food is chewed, our tongue produces saliva, and this saliva consists of salivary amylase, an enzyme which helps in the breakdown of starch present in the food. So the food which is put into the mouth first is chewed by the teeth, and this process of chewing with the teeth is called as physical digestion. And now once the food is chewed, the salivary amylase enzyme, it acts on the food and digests the starch present in the food, and this process is known as the chemical digestion of food. So once the physical and the chemical digestion of food is completed, the mucus, it what happens? It makes the food moist. Why? So as to the food can be swallowed very easily. Since the food, it stays in the mouth for a very short period of time, only the partial digestion of food takes place. Now once the partial digestion of food takes place, we swallow the food, and this food, it travels down through the esophagus or the food pipe into the stomach. Now this esophagus or the food pipe, it consists of smooth muscles, certain muscles which bring about the contraction and relaxation, which are called as the peristaltic movements. And due to this peristaltic movements, the food, it enters into the stomach via esophagus. Now what happens? Once this food enters into the esophagus, it is brought down into the stomach. Now the stomach, it consists of three things. First is the HCl, second is the mucus, and third is the pepsin. Now this HCl is acidic in medium. So what happens? This HCl, it carries out two functions. First of all, it activates certain enzyme. Secondly, it kills any bacteria or the foreign organism which is present in the food. Second is the mucus. Now what is the function of mucus? This mucus, it prevents the lining of the stomach. This lining of the stomach from the acidic secretions of the stomach. Because if this mucus would not be present, what happens? This HCl, it will corrode the lining of the stomach. So this mucus, it prevents the lining of the stomach from the acidic secretion, that is HCl. Now third is the pepsin enzyme. So this pepsin enzyme, it breaks down the proteins which are present in the food. Now this semi-digested food is converted into semi-liquid food. So this semi-liquid is called bolus. So bolus, it enters into the small intestine, Actually, the small intestine is not small. It is the largest part in the digestive tract. But it is called small because it is only present in a small portion. So this is small intestine. It is about 6.5 meters in length, and it is the largest part of the alimentary canal. So this small intestine, it receives secretions from two. The first is the gallbladder and the liver, and second is the pancreas. So the secretions of the liver, it consists of gallbladder. The gallbladder, it secretes bile, and it is a greenish fluid which is secreted inside the food. Now what is the function of bile? Bile, it helps in the emulsification of food. And this pancreas also, now this bile, it performs one more function, that is, it makes the acidic medium of the food into a basic medium. Now the food was acidic in the stomach. Now once it enters into the small intestine, with the help of the secretions from the liver and the gallbladder, the food becomes basic. Why? So that the pancreatic enzymes, they can also act on the food. Now there are certain enzymes as well as the pancreatic enzymes which act on the food. First is the trypsin, pancreatic amylase. This pancreatic amylase, what happens? What does the pancreatic amylase do? It is secreted by the pancreas, so it is called as the pancreatic amylase. This pancreatic amylase, what happens? This pancreatic amylase, it helps in the digestion of carbohydrate. So the carbohydrate, now they are completely digested. This carbohydrate is completely digested in the food. Secondly was the trypsin enzyme. The trypsin enzyme, it helps in the digestion of proteins, and these proteins are broken down into lipids. And third is the lipase. Lipase enzyme, it helps in the emulsification of fats, and fats are further converted into lipids. Now once the food is digested, what happens? It enters into the large intestine. This large intestine, what happens? The food is stored here for a certain period of time, and all the water is absorbed. So what happens? Third process was the absorption process. Now the small intestine also, now the large intestine also, it consists of small finger-like projections inside, which are called as the villi, villi. And these villi, what do they do? They increase the surface area for absorption. So once the food, after the digestion, it enters into the large intestine, all the absorption processes carried out. It is stored here for some time, and then all the remaining water which was in the food, it is absorbed by these large intestine. Now after, this small intestine also is in close contact with the blood capillaries. Now once the digested food is absorbed, what happens? It is transported into the blood, because due to the small capillaries which are in close contact with the small intestine. Now this absorbed food is taken up by the blood and is transported to the cells where they are used for various purposes. Now as soon as after the water is absorbed in the large intestine, what happens? Whatever the waste is remaining, the food or the waste product, it is eliminated. The second process was absorption was done. Now absorption, after what happens? Absorption, assimilation process. So assimilation, what happens? As I've already told you that this small intestine was in close contact with the capillaries, blood vessels. So what happens? This is absorbed into the small intestine and it is transported along with the blood with the help of capillaries to the cells. where this food is assimilated or used for the growth, repair and maintenance of the cells. After this assimilation process, whatever the waste products are remaining, it is eliminated out of the body with the help of anus. So this was the process of nutrition in complex multicellular organisms. Thank you and have a good day.